I was listening in on some of the commentary around the CBI today and some of the questions that you were being asked, and I'm going to sort of paraphrase some of the questions and sort of put them together. I guess my question centres around the CBI's support for the Brexit deal that the Prime Minister, who spoke at your event, has put forward. And I guess my question is it a good deal, Carolyn, or is it just a better deal than a no-deal Brexit?
It is significant progress. So what we have seen here is a hugely important time for British business. We are 4 months away from a potential crash out of the European Union. And what businesses are saying is that we know this will involve compromise. This is not perfect. It's not perfect for business either. But by taking no deal off the table, which is what this would do, and by charting a path to a possible frictionless trade deal in the future, let us bank that progress so that we can move on.
Ms Fairbairn, does this mean that money will come back into the UK, or is this just a transition waiting period for companies now?
My belief is that I think money would be unlocked if we were to agree this deal, because we know how many businesses have been holding back on contingency planning. They've been holding back on putting money into stockpiling and other areas that are fundamentally non-productive for our economy. Take the massive pressure off from a no-deal exit, and I think you would feel the benefits to our economy very quickly. Now, does that mean we have uncertainty ongoing? Yes, we do, but that is the opportunity to turn effectively a 7-page agreement into the proper 2,000-page agreement that we need for a free trade deal, and that's what the transition period needs to be used for.
What about what Prime Minister May outlined is still problematic for CBI and its members?
I think the most problematic thing is that it is still very uncertain in terms of the final trade deal, because we are very clear about what business needs. We need 3 things. We need frictionless trade for our manufacturing sector and the sectors in the just-in-time trading that we depend on. Secondly, we need a good deal for services. And thirdly, we must have a say on the rules. We are too big an economy not to have that. So those are the 3 things that are not yet fixed, and they will need to become fixed over the course of the transition period.
Carolyn, there's been some suggestion today that that transition period should be extended to 2022. The Prime Minister, I think at your event, poured cold water on that idea today. Would the CBI, though, support that extension because it would make any transition easier for your members?
We can see why it is potentially being considered. It's not something businesses leap at, I have to say, because the transition period does involve no say over the rules. It's not perfect in that sense, and we don't want it to continue longer than it has to. But there are 2 reasons why it might be a good thing for business. First of all, if it prevents that backstop from ever being needed, the backstop that no one wants, that would require 2 changes for business, which is costly. So that would be one reason. The second reason for possibly wanting a longer transition is if we needed to get that trade deal done, because we know trade deals are complicated, they take time, we may need more time to complete it. But it is not something businesses are asking for at the moment.
Very briefly, Ms Fairbairn, if Theresa May does face a vote of no confidence, how would the CBI feel about that? Well, we just have to keep remembering where we are in the process of leaving the European Union, which is only 4 months away from leaving. And one of the things that we feel a great responsibility as business to do is to inform people about what a no-deal Brexit would mean for real jobs and real lives in communities, the impact of shortages, the impact of supply chains being disrupted. So that we would be concerned if there was any new disruption to the process that would make an accidental no deal more likely.